Okay, this is from Grace 1024. You're asking, what should you do moving forward about coaching your very young youth team, maybe U10? You said, and you said that you feel responsible that they didn't know how to do goal kicks and kickoffs, right? So that's one issue. You said another issue is that a dad who decided not to coach this season is now interfering, trying to coach from the sidelines. The first part, right, you not realizing that they didn't know how to do kickoffs or goal kicks, I don't think that's your fault. Yeah, but that's 5-10 minutes. I'm sure this is from maybe a week or maybe a week or two ago. So I'm sure you've worked that out, and I hope that you've spoken with the parent and tell him, he could tell whatever, when it's your practice session and you're coaching, you got to be the one to coach. So if he's not, you should invite him if possible, or say, let me coach, or else it's not going to work. And then, you can, if you can't abide by those things, then, you gotta, it's like, he can't coach the team if he's not the coach, right? That doesn't make sense. And if he wants to coach so bad, then he should join the staff, right? He can't have both. So you got to explain that to him. Just say, I understand you're being helpful, right? I'm sure you might have mentioned something. But I think the one thing that you might want to consider is this practice routine I'm going to lay out, because what I've found with players that young, especially if they didn't even know how to do kickoffs and goal kicks, right? I think you actually want to transition not from a traditional coach, and I think you actually want to spend more time as a skills coach, right? Because if you could help them develop fundamental skills, even if they lose every single game in the season, but their skills improve rapidly and they have a lot of fun in practice, I think that's the most important thing, right? Because by helping them develop fundamentals, you're going to grow their game, and they're really going to enjoy their time training with you. So here are 4 things that you can do every practice that just get better and better. First is, right, you want to warm them up, whatever that means to you. The second thing that you can do is ball mastery, right? Cover, if you ever check out Cover Ball Mastery, he's got an app on iPhone, he's also got an app on Android, and you just YouTube COERVER, Cover Skills or Cover Ball Mastery, and you just start teaching these kids for the first 10 minutes practice, one move a practice or one move a week, and then the next time you see them, you review the one pass, and then you add one more. So maybe the first one you learn a chop, chop, and then the next week you review the chop, and then you add scissor, or you add the L move, right? So you have to start to master each one, or at least just learn quickly how to demonstrate it, so you could start to, and you just write down a list. It's like, okay, now everyone show me the chop, and everyone starts chopping, and then you say, okay, everyone show me your scissor, and they, so there's a progression of skills. The next thing you want to do is check out the next thing you could do is do this dribbling sequence. This is the Tom Turnbull dribbling sequence, and it goes right after ball mastery. You go outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, and then you switch feet. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Right, and this is a great tool to help players learn how to dribble, because it's easy to memorize. Since it's easy to memorize, it becomes easy to execute. You want to have them literally say it out loud while they're doing it, over and over. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Switch foot. Outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. I would have my U10 players, I would tell them to do that dribbling sequence both feet around the whole field, right? Outside, outside, inside, outside. Right, switch feet, outside, outside, inside, and right, just one lap. They're get a couple hundred touches in a lap around the field doing that sequence. The third thing you want to do is there's probably a bucket, a garbage can over at by the field. If not, you could buy like a 10-gallon this brute barrel. And what I would do is I'd put this barrel in the center of the field, right? Because there's that ring, the ring around the field, and that acts as a natural. I would have the kids line up on the line, right? And using their right foot first or their left foot, you go right foot, bounce, kick, right foot, bounce, kick, and then it goes into the barrel. So you challenge them to juggle the ball into the barrel using their right foot with a bounce, then it's left foot with a bounce, both feet alternating with a bounce, then it's right thigh with or without a bounce, left thigh with or without a bounce, then both thighs alternating, right? Right thigh, right thigh in. And you want to, all these kids, if I'm not sure how many you have, but they're going to start bumping into each other, and that's going to, get them a little frustrated. I've had kids start crying because this game was frustrating for them, but it really helped them develop, and it's a lot of fun because they're racing each other. They're trying to see. You gotta help them, keep them focused. You gotta focus in and make sure they're not worried about if someone else is gonna get it. So you challenge them to go through that whole sequence, right? So once they get done with their right foot, then then they can go on the left foot, or once they get done with the left foot, then they do alternating feet, right? So you kind of want to hit everyone. It's right foot, left foot, both feet alternating, right thigh, left thigh, both thighs alternating, and then finish with any part of the body that you want. For the last section, you need ideally taller cones. You want taller cones, a pack of however many kids there are, right? Each kid ideally has their own cone, so you split your whole team into two, and then they're just playing 1v1 to cones, right? You could use one of the sidelines as a natural outline to follow to put the cones down, space them out a couple feet apart, and then a few right, so here's one line of cones, and then you put matching cones a couple yards away that mirrors them, and the kids, they play 1v1 and knock each other's cones down. And this is kind of like the game, the fun game at the end that everyone playing, right? Like the juggling game, that's a fun game, and then 1v1, that's a fun game. And if you were to only do those 4 things every practice, not including warm-up, right? So it's warm-up, then it's ball mastery, dribbling sequences, barrel game, and then 1v1 to cones, you're gonna see a nice progression of your players. Their skills, right? Their skills are going to improve rapidly if they're getting a lot of touches on the ball, and this is the skills and drills routine that this guy Tom Turnbull put me through. He has this soccer training clinic. I did this for years, right? Every single training session, this is what it looked like: ball mastery, dribbling sequences, barrel game, 1v1 to cones. And with that format, players start to right, it's a pattern of exercises and fun skills games. So if they're going to start to look forward to playing these games and doing these drills, and that's going to make them even better as well. So focus on developing your skills, because one of the best compliments I had from my U10 team was that their parents come up to me and said, hey, they were playing this spring and they all looked really good, right? Like they didn't care that we didn't win a lot of games, but the fact that I helped them develop their skills, the parents really enjoyed that, and it was a lot of fun coaching. So I hope this helps develop your team, and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.